Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to Yarn and Pajamas. Today we are going to review the app called Yarnal, and I'm not sponsored by Yarnal. I'll tell you the story about how I found it, but Yarnal is an app for crocheters, for knitters, for keeping track of your projects. So, I have spent a whole year with Yarnal. I started using Yarnal way back on January the 8th at the beginning of the year, and I love it. So I'm here to share all about it. I've spent enough time with Yarnal to really give you guys my thoughts on like what I think about electronically keeping up with your projects and what all it entails. So I'm going to kind of scooch over just a little bit so I have plenty of room here on the side, because I'm going to insert my screen from my iPad. So let me scooch over just a little. And let me go ahead and start recording my screen here. Here now it should be recording. Okay, so what is Yarnal? Yarnal is like an electronic notebook for keeping up with your projects. So last year, well, this year, at the beginning of the year, I was watching Sari at Wee Little Crochet, but her name for her channel has changed, and I'll pop it up here. I forgot to look it up. But she was talking about that she was new to crochet at the beginning of the year, and she had downloaded this app to help keep track of her projects. And you know, I had a project book that I wrote all of my project information in when I got done. You know, I printed off a picture and I put it into the book, and it was just really hard for me to keep up with. I don't know why I do so good for such a little bit of time, and then I would slide and not do anything, and then I have to go back and like try to fill it in. But I was like, I always have my phone. Like, I'm gonna say 95% of the time my phone is somewhere near me, so it's more accessible than packing around a notebook. So I thought, Sari is onto something here. So I did contact her and ask her what app that she was using. And I started, in the meantime, while I was waiting for her response, I started looking around on, because I have an Apple phone, I started looking around in the App Store on the iPhone, and I found the app Yarnal, and it looked cute, and I downloaded it and I started using it, and it's a love story from there. But the app that Sari was using was Pocket Crochet. So here is one of the caveats of Yarnal. It's only available on OIS, so it's only available for Apple users, which is a bummer for the Android users. But I did download also the Pocket Crochet, and we're gonna also look at it for just a minute at the end of the video, because they are very similar in what they do for you. It's just they look a little different. So I'm not a whole lot used to Pocket Crochet. I've not been in it in a couple of months, but I think that we will be able to get through it. So for anyone who is interested in knowing about Yarnal, please just stay tuned. Grab yourself something to drink and something to work on, because we are getting ready to look at it. So here's my screen, and I'm going to try, I've never edited like where I add stuff, but I'm going to try to circle or highlight somehow like where my fingers are touching. So here's Yarnal. So we're just going to open it up, and it's my knitting and crochet journal, and also it'll keep track of your cross stitch as well. So yeah, I mean, it is So versatile for all of us needle crafters. Okay, so as you're looking at, it opens up to your project screen. So these are all of my in progress projects that I'm currently working on. Here you'll see at the top is the 2021 Amigurumi Advent that I have been doing for Vlogmas. You can see that I started it right off the bat on November the 12th. That's when I started and made my very first little one. And you can see that there's some categories over here, which is Stash Busters, a Stitcher Library, and a Christmas Advent. So you can make whatever categories you want, and you can label your whatever. It's like they can house as many of those categories as you want. So each one of those categories is just a different one. So you can put that label on as many projects as you want. You go down, you'll see that I've still got Sam for Trick or Treat, from Trick or Treat in progress, the Reindeer Gnome, my Sunny Blanket, and my hashtag Friendmas Snow Globe Blanket. Those are all of the ones that I have in progress. Now across the top there you'll see highlighted in pink the in progress, and we're going to click to do. So here you can go ahead and load up all of the projects that you want to work on. You can put all of the information in here for them. So here are some of the projects that are in my to-do. I want to cross stitch the handbook for the recently deceased. That's such a cute pattern, guys, and if you are a Beetlejuice fan, you would love that. I wanted to do a Tunisian dishcloth for a witch's hat. I had started a pumpkin that I never finished. I need to make a triple thick pot holder set for my mom's friend Donna. She's on there, and that's one of the categories. And this is a sleeping whip all the way at the bottom, and it's a corner-to-corner blanket that I started working on. That's in the rainbow colors. And then the next one for the pink category is done, and when you click on done, you will see these are all of the projects that I have completed and that are completely done within this year. I'm just going to slowly scroll up to show you guys that it goes all the way back to the mushroom satchel that I made for my niece. I started it on December the 22nd, 2022, and it's got made for my niece there. So I'm going to open it up, and inside you will see there is the, right at the top, a nice big picture of Marsha's mushroom satchel. And here is all of the information that I put in about this project. So you're going to see I am going to kind of try to blur out my niece's name there. So that if that's blurry or got a black line over it, I'm sorry. But it's asking when you put in the name of your project. You can name it whatever. I put that this was the Marsha's Mushroom Satchel. That was the name of the crochet pattern. Obviously it was crochet, so I marked crochet. There's knitting and there's other. Now the categories that I created, this was a digital pattern and it was a purse. So those are just some of the categories I created. I created a bunch of them, and those are just some of the ones that I use. That way I can track at the end of the year and I can see how many patterns were digital patterns, how many purses I made, how many. So like you could put, you know, category of blanket or amigurumi or gnome. You could be like specific as you want to be and put it on there. So yarns. So here I have the yarn. I'm going to click on the I Love This Cotton Ivory, and it's going to bring up, I put all of the information about this yarn in here, so you can have a digital collection of your yarn. You can either, and you can see here that it's got 2 required for this project. So I used 2 balls of this ivory cotton. And you can also update how many balls you have in your stash. So if you are really OCD or like hyper organized, you can have an at a glance, and you won't have to dig through totes. You can go to your at a glance digital compilation of yarns here, and you can be like, oh, I have this color and this is how many that I have in my stash. It's like, I'm not that organized yet with knowing all of that stuff, but you can put as much information in here as you want, from the name, where you got it from, dye lots, all of that information. You can also make sure that you put a picture. You don't have to, but you can put a picture of it up there. So let's click done and come out, not restart, done. So if you scroll on down, you can see I can add all of the yarns that I want to use for this project on here. I can put the needle size of the hook that I'm using, even down to your measurements and gauges. If you're one of those people that do that, I don't do a lot of clothing, so I don't do a lot of gauge swatches. And you can put any other things that you're using, such as, you know, it's got buttons or needles or anything that you're using for the project. Now, it's got information about your pattern. You can add where you got your pattern from. You can add the PDF version of your pattern on here if it's an electronic version, and that's what I did. So every time that I would go to use this, like to crochet, I would open up the Yarnal app instead of searching through all of my stuff, and I would pick the pattern from here instead of going to what's that one? Oh, Julie from KS Mom told me, Dropbox. So instead of going to Dropbox and searching through it, I knew right here is where it's at. So progress, this is where, like, you would put the date you finished it. As you can see, I finished this on the 11th of 2023. I've marked it as done. And then in the notes, you can type up whatever notes that you want here. And so these were the notes that I had when I was making this, about how I made another mushroom cap to fit up inside of it, made it a little bit smaller. So when I go back, if I want to make this again, all of my notes are here with my project. So this is the project at a glance. So another thing that you can do with this, if you are the type of person that you need, like you like having a book format or like a paper format like that you want to look at, you can, up here in the right hand corner, there is a PDF button. You click it and you can do a PDF including photos or without. So like if you want to print it off but you don't want any pictures, you can print off and it'll just have all of the information that you've typed in. But if you're like making like a keepsake book or whatever you want to make, you can do it with the pictures. So we'll do a PDF with pictures, and voila, here we have what the PDF with the picture is going to look like. And here in the corner, obviously you can share it and send it to your printer, however your printers do. So I did print off a copy of what it looks like, and I will show you guys. Here is the first page. It printed in 2 pages. Here's the first page, and I did print it 2-sided, so there is the back page. So I did kind of create, at first, oops, sorry, I moved you guys. I wanted to make a paper book of it, but I have decided since then that I don't want a paper book, that I am content with the digital version here. But I bought this little display book from Amazon. I'll link it down below. It's just got these sheet protectors. You could definitely buy just a bunch of sheet protectors and a binder, especially if you do a lot of projects, because this only has so many pages in it. But as you can see here, it makes a cute little flip book. So here are like the book that you can make with your projects if that's what you want to do. It's super easy to add these photos in to your projects because we generally take the pictures with our phones anyways, right? Okay, so now we have looked at all of the nice little done, to do, and in progress, and I thought that we could quickly run through what it looks like to just create one. So up here in the right hand corner at the top, we're going to add the plus button, and we are going to do a new project. So the first thing it's asking you is, what is your project? Crochet, knitting, or other. So I'm a crocheter. I generally do the crochet. So we're going to leave it at crochet. And in the project name, we are going to go ahead and make a, we're going to call it, I think I called the other one a beehive banner, because after Christmas, I'm going to start making another beehive banner. My brother asked me to make one for someone that he knows, so I'm going to do that. So up here in the right hand corner, it's got save, or you can cancel. Like if you decide that's not what I'm going to do, you can hit cancel and it'll just go away. You're going to sit down there. So we're going to save it. Excuse you. Yes. Well, I'm doing a video right now. I will let you sit with me, okay? So here we have the beehive banner. We have all of this information that we can go in and fill. It's got category there under type, and you can hit select categories, and up pops all of the categories that I have programmed in. Now, if you say, oh, wow, well, I want the category to be wall hanging, because I don't think I have one named that. This dog. So you can go, say I fell off my mother's leg. You better sit down. So you can go up here in the right hand corner at the manage categories there in the pink. You can tap that, and here you can add a new category. So we're going to push the plus button here in the right hand corner, and we're going to name our new category wall hanging, and we're going to tap create, and there we go. We just created that wall hanging. So we're going to hit done because we don't need to manage any longer. And now we're here at where we were selecting, so we can go ahead and tap wall hanging. It'll turn it pink, and we can tap select up in the right hand corner. And as you can see under category now, it has wall hanging. So I'm like, oh, but now it is a Stitch Your Library because I have the pattern in my library. So we can go back to category and tap wall hanging. And so we need to go to Stitch Your Library. We need to add that as well. Train. It's also going to be a stash buster because I'm only going to use yarns from my stash. So we're going to hit stash buster as well. So let's just see if any other pattern applies to it or any other category. And I think that we are good on the categories. Oh, it's a digital pattern. So we're going to click on that because I did download the pattern originally from, I believe it was Ravelry, but it's no longer available. So we're going to hit select, and boom, it puts all of my categories in. Who is this made for? I could put my brother's name if I wanted to. And then here in the yarns, that's where I'll add all of the yarn colors that I'm going to use. So let's just go ahead and click on add yarn. So we'll push it, and here you can see these are all of the yarns that I have in my digital library of yarns. And what I do is if it's not in here when I'm working on a project, I'll add it. I've not went through and added any, like just doing a bunch at a time, because like I said, I'm not that organized as far as doing that. But I will add it, and I'll go and screenshot a picture of it right from the website of like usually Joann's or Wool Warehouse, and then just add the picture when I'm adding the yarn in. But here is all of the yarns. I believe that like Yarn Bee Mini Maker in gold, it's one of the colors that I used. So I'll click on it, and it'll say add yarn to project, and I'll say yes. And here is where you can decide how much of this yarn that you're going to need for the project. And you can scroll up on the little ball, and it will let you decide. And it'll say skeins, grams, or ounces. Most of the time, I'm not, like, because I use like scraps of it, I just leave that at 0 and just hit save up in the right hand corner. And there it is. It added it for you. Needle size. I'm not sure what the needle size was that I used, but I'll go back and look at the beehive banner that I made previously and use the information from that. And then I'll add in the pattern. Here under pattern, it's a digital pattern, so I'll be able to add the source in. This is another great way to keep up, like if you, especially if you're good at posting on Instagram, which I'm not, but you can put, you know, the Instagram person's handle in, like if you want to go back and tag them, like when you post it on Instagram. This is a great place to have it, because I'm always like, what was I supposed to do it, or what was I supposed to hashtag it? This is a great place to put all of that information, and you won't have to, it's all in just one little place. So down here is your progress status. So today we started it, but am I starting it today? No. So in the future, when I do start it, I can go in and I can change that date. All I have to do is click on it. I just pushed on the date, and it brings up the month of December, and here I can change it. I can go into January. I can go back to November. It's just super easy. It's super friendly. User friendly is the word that I want to say. So we're just going to leave it at the 19th for right now. But whenever I finish it, I just click on where it says date. When project was finished, I just touch it, and it'll pop up the calendar, or it'll pop up the date, and there it'll be done. So let's just go ahead and look. See, date finished. We're going to clear the date, because obviously we're not finished, and it didn't clear it. There we go. Clear the date. So we took it away because we're not finished. In this picture section, you can add all the pictures that you want. Like if you are like me, sometimes I like to make in stage pictures, like this, I done it here this much, I done it here this much, and you can see a progression of your project coming to life. This is great for like big projects, especially like blankets. I know I've took a lot of pictures of my sunny blanket, so we'll go in and look at that, and we can see like the progression of the pictures, and I can show you that. And then of course there's notes at the bottom. You just click on notes, and here you can just, you know, type whatever. We are going to backtrack that because this was just gibberish. So there is that project, and all of the information that was on there is now saved, and that project is ready to be updated or to be used whenever I want to do it. And because my phone is generally with me, it is so much easier to update or to write information or to put a picture in than it is with my book. So I'm going to click on the sunny blanket real fast, and I'm going to go and show you what the inside of it looks like. As you can see, I've got all of my yarns listed. So pretty looking at all of those colors of the yarn just right across there. You can see all of the PDFs here that I have, like because there's so many, because it's in different stages. And here at the bottom, you can see all of the pictures that I have taken so far of the sunny blanket. I don't have any of the small square that I'm currently working on for the sunny blanket. When I get that finished, I will probably take a picture of the small square and then move on. And then the picture at the main top is just of the sunny blanket that is on the website. And when I get mine finished, the finished product will go at the top in like the crowning moment picture of it. So that, guys, is Yarnal. I really, really, really have loved the Yarnal. And Yarnal is free to download for all of you Apple users, but some of the things are not accessible unless you pay for it. So there's 2 plans that I am allowed to purchase, like here in my region, I guess. Maybe other regions have another option, but you can do it month to month, which is 49 cents per month, or you can do it for a year, and it was $4.99. So for $5 this year, I've had all of my projects at my fingertips the whole time that I had my phone. And it came in real handy because especially when I was out at stores and people would be like, oh, what are you buying this for? Example, I was buying a bunch of those Cadbury eggs. And they said, oh, why are you buying all of these eggs? The cashier. And I was like, oh, well, I crochet little bunnies to cover them, and I'm going to do that for some kids this Easter. And she's like, oh, I crochet too. She's like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'd like to see that. And I was like, oh, well, here, I can show you a picture of it, because I had all of that information in my phone. It was right there at my fingertips, and I was able to show her, and then I was able to share with her where I got the pattern for it, and hopefully she made some too. So I was sharing all of this crochet goodness with her out in the Dollar General. But that was one of the things that I really loved, is the accessibility. But like I said, it does cost some money to use. Some features are free. So if you want to go completely free, some of those features won't be accessible. But if you want to do it year to year, it's $5 a year. I waste more money than that at the Starbucks, so I'm okay with it. Now, I found on the information on the app store, it said an unlimited for $16.99, but that's not an option for me. It does not allow me to see that option when I go in to try to like renew or purchase. I just have the 49 cents per month or the $4.99 per year. So mine will automatically renew on January the 8th, and I'll have a whole nother year with Yarnal, and I will love it. So my biggest pro that I wrote down is that it's always with you. Your projects are always with you, because generally nowadays we have our phones with us, so it is always there. Another pro that I had wrote down is the creator of this app is phenomenal. So there is in the settings, there's a feedback button, and you can email her any feedback. And I have emailed her twice about things that I seen that would benefit me, but I thought would benefit other people as well. And one of those things was when you were printing out a PDF version, if you didn't put, like say in the gauge, if you didn't put any information, when you created a PDF, that gauge option was there, but it was just blank. So it had gauge, and then it had just a blank space beside of it. And I was like, well, if I'm not putting anything about gauge down, when I print out a copy of it, it shouldn't have anything about gauge in there. So I did email her, and I was like, hey, I noticed this. For me, it would be beneficial. If other people feel like it would be beneficial for them, I was just bringing it to your attention. And she really liked the idea. So now when you create a PDF version, any fields that are left blank within the app, they don't generate and show up on the PDF version. And there was another suggestion that I gave. It was something about how like the dates were. And she listened to that too. And when she done an update, she corrected that. So the app creator is phenomenal. I think that she, one, is either a crochet or a knitter. And two, she really listens to the people that are using her app. And like I said, I use it almost on a daily basis. When I crochet, I'm generally inside of this app doing something. Okay, so now I've got the beetles here. We are going to exit out of Yarnal. We're going to put it back down on the home screen, and we're going to open up Pocket Crochet. It's right down here below, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to look inside of it. And I did add one of my projects to it to see like how user-friendly it was, to see if it was something that I could, you know, recommend to you guys. I didn't want to say anything, you know, about a product that I didn't use or didn't feel comfortable with sharing with you guys. So as you can see, it opens up to the screen of projects that I have put in. So one project that I put in was the cat gnome. And the other project that's in there is that granny square cardigan, and I believe that came with the app. I deleted all of the ones that I didn't like, and I liked that granny square cardigan, so I left that one in there. So you can see it's got like a little heart shape over it. So we are going to open up the cat gnome and take a look and see what it looks like. Well, let me pause you guys and let me see if I can figure out how to use the Pocket Crochet. Okay guys, so I'm back. I now know what I'm doing with Pocket Crochet, and we can open it back up and see what's going on. Okay, as you can see, it opens right up to the screen of your projects. So I'm going to press on the cat gnome. Now, it automatically opened up to the PDF version of my pattern. And like I said, I don't have a PDF version. What I done was I just saved the website as a PDF. So it's just the website. It says there's like 170 some pages of it. So now up here in the top right hand corner, there's the 3 little dots. That's what I was looking for, which is the creation of the project. So we're going to click on those 3 little dots. We can add a row counter. We can add a timer. We can rotate the page left. We can rotate it right. We can look at the images, and we can look at details. We're going to click on the details. That's going to bring us to the details of the entire project. You will probably hear the dogs because they are in here eating the rest of their nibbles before bed tonight. Okay, as you can see, we've got the name, which is the cat gnome. Category, I don't have anything listed, so let's just click on the little icon, and I'm not sure what those icons are. I've not played with Pocket Crochet enough to know. One looks like clothes, one looks like animals. I'm not sure. The start date was October 22nd, 2022. I finished it on August the 8th, 2023. It's got website. I saved in Jen Hayes Creations, the website where I found the pattern. As you can see, I touched it and it took me there. So I'm going to say to edit that all the way here over on the left hand side. Let's see if, yes, I clicked on the little pencil on the paper and it's got a website. So that's where you would copy if it's a website that you got your pattern from. Hey, there's no fighting. Mutters is making a video, okay? No fighting. Thank you. No fighting. It's my life daily. They fight. like cats and dogs. And they're both dogs. So as you can see, pattern files, and like I said, I did save it as a PDF and added it in there for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason was that I done it. You can add notes down below. You can click, you can type, and there they go. Row counters. This is something that Yarnal has as well, a row counter. I very seldom use it, but it does come in handy, like if you need to keep up with your rows. Right there is an electronic row counter, but I don't use row counters very often. You can even do timers, which looks like it is locked. You see it's got the little lock on it. It says visit the store. This is a premium feature of the paid upgrade. So it is like Yarnal. It does have some features that are free and some features that in order to get, you will have to pay for. We will look at that in just a few minutes to see like what the cost is for the upgraded version. But if a timer is not something that you think that you'll need, then you don't have to worry about it, do you? Customer. Maybe this is something, let's see. Here you can add your customer information and agreements. So if this is more of a business for you, like if you're making a lot of things for people, like commission wise, this would be a good feature to have. Then images. Here you can add images. You can choose the picture. You can either choose by taking a picture with your camera, or you can choose from your photo library. As you can see, I have an image in there. I'm trying to click on it and it won't let me do anything, but it looks like you can trash it there. Here we've got yarns. These are the yarn colors that I used. I just clicked the button. I'm not sure where the yarns would be. Here you got archive project or delete project. I am not really sure what archiving the project does, so let's click on it and see. Okay, so it took it from the pocket crochet screen. You see we're back at the beginning and it has disappeared. So let's click on those three dots, nothing. Let's click over on the left hand side, and over here in archives, we can touch archives and it's got all of it. So if you just want your home screen to be your in progress projects, then you would archive your project when you're done. And then over the top left hand, the slashes, you can see that we got the store, we've got the yarn stash, customers. You can choose your language, your archive, backup, and about. So we're going to open up the yarn stash here just to look at putting the yarns in. As you can see, I've got some yarns in only for the specific project that I've done. I've got Shepyace Katona Cotton and the Anthracite, Old Lace, Old Rose, and Ruby. I added those pictures. I just touched the ruby there, and as you can see, it brought everything up. So if I wanted to edit that, I could. So in the lower right hand side, it's got a add button, and this is where you would add your yarns that you're going to use for your project. And like I said, on Yarnal, I added, each time I done a project is when I would add the yarns. And over time, over the course of the year, all of the yarns that are in there have just been built up from each project. And I'm noticing a lot of the times now that I will be using some of the yarns that are already in there. And each time I add a project, I'm not always having to go and put a yarn in. But again, that's something that is optional. If you don't want to track the yarns for your project and you just want to maybe just type it out, you can just put it in the notes and you don't even have to fool with that section. Okay, so we looked at archives. Let's see what backup is. Here you can restore your purchases on your app. Like if something happens or like you get a new phone or a new iPad and like it doesn't show up, here you can go to restore it, or you can generate a backup of everything that you have if you are going to be switching phones or something like that. So let's go up to store. So here we have, looks like 2 options for pocket crochet. So for $8.99, oh, well, let's start at the lowest one. It's the Pro Wool, and it's $5.99. And it adds timers, keeps track of your customers. You can receive notifications if you have a deadline set. You can link row counters to each other. You can set reminders when counting rows. You can do an increase or decrease calculator. The knowledge that we are forever grateful. And you'll know that you're doing something to help the creators. So for the Pro Cashmere, you will, if you upgrade and do the $8.99, you'll get the timers. You'll keep track of customers and agreements. You'll receive the notifications and deadlines. You will link row counters to each other. You'll set the reminders, the increase and decrease calculator, and the knowledge that the creators are forever grateful to you. You will also be able to color your app with 2 new themes, and you will be donating a little extra to the creators of the app. So for $3 more, you'll get to choose from some color schemes, and you'll just be putting some money in the creators' pockets. Yeah, so that is what I can tell you about pocket crochet. Now, do I think that you should run out and buy pocket crochet? I would use the free version first. I used the free version of Yarnal, I think for about a month before I decided that, yeah, this is the route that I want to take. This is something that I'm liking. So I would suggest using the free version. And I would suggest if all of the extra stuff is not something that you want, then you don't even need to upgrade. If the free version is satisfying your needs, then that's that. You have got a free digital project book in your phone. Okay, so that, like I said, that's pocket crochet. And I think that I've pretty much covered everything. Guys, I really like this. I find that doing it, keeping up with my stuff digitally has helped me do it. Like, I have kept up with every single project that I've made except for the snowflakes. Missy, leave your brother alone. Thank you. I've kept up with everything except for those snowflakes. I did not put those in. I have no idea why I didn't do it. But I did not do it. And I thought, well, that's not really that big of a deal that I didn't do it. So I didn't keep all of the snowflakes. I thought, well, I'll wait till the very end, which is what I'm doing with my amigurumi advent. And I'm going to take a picture of everything and then like put all of my yarns and stuff in, because I am keeping all of my yarns in like a separate bin as I use them. I thought about doing that for the snowflakes, but I just didn't. So I think that maybe if I get time, I will put some of the snowflakes in and maybe list the snowflakes that I did make, so that if I ever decided to do it again, that I would know which ones I've not made. But I have them marked in my book, so I may not even put those in, guys. Not a big deal if I don't, right? But at least I'll know that I did create them in 2023 for Vlogmas. See? So that's another way I can look back in a couple of years and I will know. But like I said, if you keep a book, that's one thing that I do miss is if you're like a tactile person and like the pen and like doing the writing and like touching the book and like putting the pictures in, then that's something that you will miss, because I do kind of miss it. But I think that this is the way that I am going to go from now on. I do like going and looking at everything. Let's just go ahead and close out of Pocket Crochet and open up Yarnal again. Let's go to my done list. I will look at it from time to time and be like, oh yeah, I made these, or oh yeah, look, there's Rosa Parks, and yeah, and like I'd forgot all about making the Sleepy Bear Lovey that I made for Danette, and I looked at it the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about Sleepy Bear Lovey. So I do like just scrolling through and looking at everything and being like, oh yeah, I forgot all about making it. Look, there's my Coco's crochet blankets. Look, and like I said, I even put my cross stitches in that I did. So yeah, I'm totally loving Yarnal, and I do recommend Yarnal. Like I said, I paid for Yarnal on my own. I'm just telling you guys about it, all because I spent a whole year with Yarnal and I have loved it every bit of the way. Okay, guys, that is it for my app review. Are any of you guys using Yarnal, Pocket Crochet, or one of the other crochet apps to keep up with your stuff? If you are, let me know down in the comments below your thoughts, and if you decide to try it out, excuse me, let me know too, because dude, I would like to know your thoughts, like after you've tried it out. You can always feel free to email me later on, after, like, if you want to use it for a little bit, and then, you know, email me. And like with anything, the more you use something, the more you'll get used to it. So at first, like, I know I was having a little bit of trouble with Pocket Crochet, but that's just because I don't use it. I used it that one time and putting that cat gnome in, and I've never opened it since then. But if I was in it every day like I was Yarnal, I would know exactly where to go and what the things were. So that will come with use, because when I first used Yarnal, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It's all so weird and different. Excuse me. But definitely let me know your thoughts. If you decide to use one of them, feel free to email me later on down the line, because I'm really interested to know your thoughts. Okay. We will see you guys in the next video. Biddle says bye. Mothers is getting ready to start coughing, so I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.